Good afternoon, folks. Mike Gilligan here. Smash parental alienation. Take a look at that. That's a picture. That's the evolution of a guy who's fighting the good fight to be a dad in his kids' lives. Fighting an ex-spouse who is an obsessed alienator, and her hate is so bad that she does not want that guy involved in her children's life, as she would say. But there are children, and this is what I'm fighting for. A loving relationship with my children, that's it. It's very simple. I've done nothing to my boys or to my ex-wife that would make me some kind of domestic terrorist in their lives, or a disturbance. I pretty much have been a very affectionately available father. It's very unfortunate that I have to fight this fight, but he is the evolution of the troubles I've had since 2007 with my ex-wife in the court system. My sons, they're pretty unhappy there. You could tell, right? Here too, very unhappy. Something's wrong. Two good boys, proud of them. But I'm doing this video for others. I'm taking something out of Rick W.'s playbook, and I'm going to give a synopsis of what has happened to me in court. I have to go to court tomorrow to fight an order of protection, temporary order of protection that's been placed on me since September 2nd of this year, 2016. So we're talking, 90 days, and it's totally unnecessary. My ex-wife has filed what they call a family offense petition on the 2nd of September with the family court in Judge Spinner's court. And basically she says that on two dates in August, late August, on the 28th and the 21st, that I showed up to the house where she lives, and I left messages for my sons. And I posted a Facebook Live video in front of her house to document the fact that I was there on stipulated time. I do not deny this. I came in contact with no one. Nobody was home. I knocked on the door. Nobody was there. I immediately went from the door to the street. I did the Facebook Live video documenting that I was there, and then I left. I did that 2 weekends in a row. The notes that I left from my sons were loving messages, basically saying, let's get together, I love you. That was it. Now, the basic reason why my ex filed this family offense petition, which is right here, that's her handwriting, is because my oldest boy, who was 14, had contacted me weeks earlier through Instagram, and basically he's been having problems with mom. And I could sense he feels a lot of guilt over not seeing me and not having contact. He's even apologized to me on the phone and in text. And he's not being able to explore his own heart and mind when it comes to his dad, because his mom doesn't want it to happen. Unfortunately, my ex is an obsessed alienator, which is the three types the most severe in parental alienation, family bond obstruction. I hesitate using parental alienation. I don't like to use that word that term in court because of the American Psychological Association really doesn't recognize it, and you have to use words like empathy or void of empathy, lack of empathy. That's what I would suggest to folks. But this is the reason why this order of protection is in effect. And basically, Judge Spinner is granted this temporary order of protection in regards to this family petition that was filed. And anybody reading this thing, if you use any common sense, she's indicating that she's being stalked. And I'm a retired policeman, and no way does this reveal stalking in any way, shape, or form. The fact of the matter is, I came in contact with no one. And on those 2 dates that she indicates, she did file a police report with the Suffolk County Police Department. I'm going to show you this document. It's called a Domestic Incident Report. It's a copy, and you really can't see it, but it's 2 pages. This page right here is the page 1. I've filled out thousands of these during my career. And the police officer fills out the first page. It's general information, pedigree. Her information is blacked out because this is my copy. And then he writes a statement as to what occurred. He basically puts down, I don't know if you can see it, no offense occurred. And the second page, which I find to be a very crucial page and was a very useful page when I was a police officer, is basically an affidavit for the complainant witness to write their own statement. Now, in this case, Mrs. G does not write this. If you could take a look at the handwriting here and the handwriting here, difficult, folks. Take my word for it. It's the same handwriting. The police officer wrote her statement for her, and she signed. It's a very, very bad copy. And this is not proper procedure. Cops shouldn't be doing this. Apparently in Suffolk County, it's policy. Here's the one on the other date. It's a little bit more clearer. This is the first page. And this is the second page. Well, for some reason that is not very clear. Maybe they did that on purpose. And the bottom line is that this statement that a complainant witness would write, I can almost guarantee you would benefit the court. It would either substantiate or eliminate an order of protection. Because a lot of times people who are lying trip themselves up on what they write and what they say. And you want to hold them to something. And it says here, false statements made herein are punishable as a Class A misdemeanor pursuant to Section 21045 of the penal law. But how could Mrs. G be held for the A misdemeanor if the handwriting is from the police officer? This nonsense. This is crazy. I've confronted this to officers, and they don't really have a good explanation for it. It's just their administrative policy. But I could assure you that there's something else to it. And basically, they're trying to control statistics, because a lot of this documentation gets sent to the FBI, goes to the state police, and they issue reports for domestic violence for the whole state. And they want to be able to control the numbers in the county, because it's a negative thing for the county to have an excessive amount of domestic incidences. And then all of a sudden the DOJ may get involved. So it's a statistical thing that they're trying to control. Anyhow, this is it. This is a false instrument. And this Judge Spinner, he grants this temporary order of protection. Now, I've appeared in court for this. I've got 2 adjournments already. And tomorrow I have to appear on the 8th. Tomorrow is a significant day for me. And tomorrow is the 8th of December 2016. It was 22 years ago tomorrow that my old man died. He was same name as me, detective in the Manhattan DA squad. Was killed on the West Side Highway after having a massive heart attack in a police car. I was pretty much a rookie cop in the Bronx, and I was working a crime scene on a midnight tour when I got the call. And hopefully tomorrow, Detective Gilligan will, be in the room and throw the whammy on the judge or the people in government that really all they want to do is control his son. And I'm not about to let that to happen. In regards to this family offense petition, I've filed 2 motions challenging it. And basically, I've challenged their motions to vacate, challenge jurisdiction of court to enforce temporary order of protection. This here was denied on the 26th of September 2016. And this is pretty well written. I had some assistance. And we articulate a lot of stuff that the court doesn't want to know about. We quote Miranda, we put Supreme Court rules, the New York State Constitution, Bill of Rights, and basically we challenge the subject matter jurisdiction. Does the court have jurisdiction to support this temporary order protection? And they really don't. This thing doesn't support stalking at anything. It doesn't support harassment. Here's the second one. We challenged to vacate, challenged jurisdiction of court to enforce. Well, that's the same one. This is actually no. The second one that we put for order to show cause, lack of subject matter jurisdiction. This is another one that fairly well written. You can see it was stamped by the court. This is my copy, and this one was also denied, and you can see that here on the bottom is denied. Here it is. Denied. Anyway, this is what we're up against. I've done nothing wrong, and the court. I'm going into court tomorrow, and if I get to speak, it ought to be interesting because I'm going to assert my rights, and I'm basically going to tell the court I don't consent to their benefit. I don't consent to the benefit of any services they may try to offer me. I don't consent to having my sons being questioned at any time by any government official. So I'll be invoking their right to remain silent. And I'll let them know that, they need to show me evidence of subject matter jurisdiction in regards to support this temporary order protection and make a decision on it. I'm not going to be intimidated into, anything, that they could offer me. And they may try to order supervised visitation. They may try to order parenting classes. They may try to order. I'm not going to consent to any of that. And I'm not going to do it. That's the end of the story. Until they produce subject matter and they show me evidence that subject matter exists and they have a right to order me to do these things. Well, they have to prove that. It's an element of this violation, this family offense, and jurisdiction can be challenged at any time. And I got to tell you, the court doesn't really care. I don't have the time to read, the court's reasons for denying my motions, but I can tell you this much. He never offers any evidence as to why there is subject matter, and he basically tells me that I'm not legally informed or lawfully informed, and that, basically, he's lucky he even looked at it because it wasn't written by a bar member, and that's basically what he's looking for. He wants one of his own in his club, in the bar, to write this, and God forbid a man like myself who could read and write educates himself a little bit and he does his own motion. They have no respect, and this is a control issue, and they have nothing on me. And why this continues, you got me. The law guardian that was assigned to this she's a piece of work, Teresa Mary. And I don't consent to her benefit. I sent her a letter a long time ago telling her I don't consent to her benefit to talk to my kids at all. and that she shouldn't talk to them without me and their mother and my children's mother present. But, my ex won't go along with any of that because she's just going to do anything that hamstrings me. She hates me so much. And she hates me so much that she has no empathy for her children to have a dad. And that's the bottom line. That's the reason why I'm in court. And it's totally unnecessary, totally unreasonable, and I shouldn't even be there. But, and just to give proof of that, I am responsible. Check this out. Child support paid as of 12/1/2016. There's the number, folks. That's how much money I've paid in child support. 0 arrears. That's the monthly number. Right there. I don't know how many, there's a lot of people out there paying more, a lot of people paying less, but I can assure you that's a fair number, monthly for 2 boys. And that's coming from here. The New York City Police Pension Fund. And it comes out of an income withholding order. Here's another issue that I'm going to be addressing shortly after this matter is, done with. I have an income withholding order, and this is paperwork I received back from the pension fund. And they sent me copies of the income withholding order they have on file. Here's a copy. You can see it says copy. Now, what's interesting about this income withholding order is that this is not a judicial order. This is a executive administrative document that goes from the Department of Social Services, Child Support Enforcement Unit, and you can see it right up here. That's what it says, Child Enforcement Support Unit. And here is the order itself, income withholding for support. Basically has my information, the police pension fund, what will be taken out, it's monthly. What's really interesting is the second page here. There's a spot here, and hopefully it'll stay in focus. It says signature of judge issuing official, and print the name of the judge, title of judge, signature, and date. There's no signature there. This is their copy on file. Now, if there's no signature, where does the New York City Police Pension Fund get the authority to withhold my money and send it to the New York State Child Support Enforcement Unit? Someone needs to answer this question. And I'm going to pose the question, and it better get answered. This is fraud, folks. The state is involved in fraud, sending out bogus orders and threatening employers with fines and this, that, and the other thing. And the reason why they're doing that is because they don't have a signature there. So the employers just go along with the government. Because they're afraid of being fined because it's difficult to do business, especially in New York State, where we're taxed to death. But this is what's going on here, folks. I was never interested in becoming a parental rights activist or a fighter in court the way I have to be now. But it's what's necessary. And all I want to do is be the third guy in this picture and be left alone. And that's basically what I'm going to be telling the court tomorrow. Leave me alone. I don't want the benefit of your court. I don't believe that you have jurisdiction over me. Leave me alone. Do not tread on me. And this is what it's all about. And this is what we have to say on our own behalf in court. You hire an attorney, he's never going to say these things. He's never going to say to the court, Your Honor, my client, he doesn't wish to have the benefit of your services or want to be involved in the court, and he is this, that, and the other thing. They're not going to do that. They're players in the court, and they're going to play by the rules. They're going to submit you to the jurisdiction. They're going to volunteer you into it. They'll never challenge jurisdiction. The next time you have to hire an attorney in regards to a family court problem or a domestic issue, ask them to challenge jurisdiction. They're not going to do it. More than likely, they're not going to do it. And if they do, he's going to fluff it, and it's going to be denied. And he's not going to go at it aggressive like I would go at it. And that's what I've been doing. I've been going aggressive. It could be brought up at any time, and that's my challenge tomorrow. It's been my challenge. And all they've done since the 2nd of September is adjourn. Adjourn, adjourn, adjourn. And they want to wear me out. They want me to go away. They want this temporary order over time to become a full order of protection. They want me to stay away from my kids because they want me to stay anchored in Title 4A grant funding. They want to be able to use my $2,050 a month to collect interest and to use that in the total number to obtain federal funding. That's what's going on in our courts. Those two boys are commodities. They're not human beings or people, one of the people whose rights need to be protected. Family court has no, it's supposed to be a constitutional court, but I can guarantee you it's not. It's an equity court. They'll never admit to that either. And it's about money. And it's about the money to them and to their court. And it's about funding. It's about money under the table between the executive branch and the Department of Social Services and family court. People are being greased under the table with bonuses because of the amount of people and the amount of order and protections they'll get. It's a joke. And people need to wake up. The unaffected in our communities need to be affected by this, because it could happen to them. And when it does, that's when they'll start come running to people like me. And what did I do and how did I do it? And that's why I'm doing this video. That's why Rick W. does his videos. That's why I watch videos like Long Island Backstory, with Gary Jacobs as the host, the president for Americans for Legal Reform. I listen to Amin Osiris. Got a lot of great information on there. I listen to the No State Project on the radio. And my favorite radio station, WLINY Radio, here on Long Island, where we have normal people talking about real issues. Carlos Rivera, The Best Interest of the Children, the Frank Vetro Show, the Jeffrey Bloom Show, MJ Shea, Eric Koppelman, who's the producer there. It's a great radio program on all day. WLINY.com. I would tune into that station, and we got Fletcher Long on there now too, the long version. He's a gentleman out of, I believe he's in Tennessee. He's on the team now. But this is what this is what I have to do, and there'll be more videos like this, just like what Rick W. does. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to attack the system. And the next thing I'm going to attack is the income withholding order and the New York City Police Pension Fund. They're going to get hammered by me. I'm going to become a tick on their ass. Anyway, that's it. But there's the number again. You believe that? Imagine the interest on that money. Holy shit. But this is why I do it. And that's all I want. I just want to be a father to my kids. That's all I want. I want to be I want to help them become men. All I want to do is be the third guy in the picture, fishing, and talking to my sons about normal things. I'll keep you informed about the court tomorrow. Have a great day. God bless.